Hi friends, I'm Anju. Canada PR process express entry. I'll give you the steps on how you can apply for express entry federal skilled worker program. So let's get started. So there are 3 programs under express entry: federal skilled worker, federal skilled trades and Canadian experience class. Today I'm giving you the details on federal skilled worker program. Step 1. Check if you're eligible. So you can use the Canada Immigration official website to check if you're eligible to apply for express entry.
I'll be providing the link to this website in the description. So in this section you'll be asked questions regarding your nationality, age, language ability, family members, education, work experience and details on any job offer. You might require around 10 to 15 minutes to fill out this form. And once you are done with filling out this form, you'll be receiving a confirmation code and you'll be notified whether you're eligible or not to apply through express entry.
And my suggestion is use the CRS score calculator to know where you stand with the other applicants who are applying for the Canada PR. So CRS score is nothing but the comprehensive ranking system score, the score based on which you get invitations to apply for Canada PR. Currently the cutoff is around 460, 470 mark. So once you calculate your scores, you'll know where you stand.
Let me give you a feel of the CRS tool. So I'm filling this based on my personal details. It will vary based on yours. So first thing they check is the marital status, then they check your age, your level of education, and whether the education is obtained from Canada or not, your language test results, so let's choose IELTS in this case and choose the maximum score available. And any other language test results. For instance, if you have French language test results, you can specify it there. And whether you have any work experience in Canada, anything outside Canada, any certification, any valid job offer, any nomination. And this is for if you have any relatives. In my case, I do. And next is your spouse details. So we fill it same as earlier. So once you have this filled out, you calculate your score and you would have your results. And you can find out what is the points you have currently, which ranks you in the comprehensive ranking system and helps you get the invitation.
Now we know that you're eligible. So next step is get your language test results. So for English language test, you can either choose from IELTS and CELPIP. IELTS is more common and I did my IELTS. So you need to start preparing for IELTS, give the exam and get the maximum score possible. Canadian Language Benchmark CLB 7 is the minimum requirement to apply for Federal Skilled Worker Program. Another thing you can start in parallel is getting your Educational Credential Evaluator ECA report, Educational Credential Assessment Report. This is nothing but comparing your education done outside Canada to the Canadian degrees.
These are the designated organizations which can provide you with the ECA report. I did it through World Education Services, so it's a preference on which organization you want to choose. So, based on your degree, you need to choose from which organization you need to get your ECA report from.
Now we know that we're eligible to apply for express entry. We have your IELTS scores or any other language test scores. We have the ECA report in hand. The next step would be creating the express entry profile. So once you have the express entry profile created, you're going to get a CRS score, which the Canadian Immigration calculates for you, and you might get invited to apply for PR in the next row. So get your documentation ready.
So, based on our passport details, language test results, and educational credential assessment report, we created the profile. So, the next set of documents which you will require for your application of permanent residence is police certificates, medical exams, and proof of funds. In addition to this, you will also be requiring your employment letter, marriage certificate, and any additional documents as requested by IRCC. So let's get to the details of these three. Police certificate. So you and your family members who are 18 years or older are required to obtain police certificate. And this link would provide you all the details on how you can obtain a police certificate. If you choose your country and find out how you want to apply, it provides you all the details. There are some countries which will require a request letter from IRCC for them to issue the police certificate. While I was applying from Mexico, it was one country which required such a request letter. So, in that cases, you just need to upload a document in the police certificate field saying that you are applying from a country that requires an official letter from IRCC to get a police certificate. And once your profile is submitted and when the IRCC reviews it, they issue the request letter and you can take this letter to the concerned authorities and get the police certificate. So this link will provide you all details regarding it. So if you could choose the respective country from here, it would say whether you require the request letter or not. The next one is the medical exams. So in this link you will get all the details on how you can and where you can get the medical exam done from, and what you need to pay and what do you want to expect and all the details. I'll be sharing this in the description. So next one is the proof of funds. So you're required to show that you have minimum amount that you need to immigrate to Canada. So based on your family size, the amount varies and this gets updated every year.
So next step would be, once you receive the invitation, you need to submit these documents in order to be eligible for PR. And you have 60 days to do this.
Let me provide you some insight on the fees for express entry. So there is a processing fee, there is a right for permanent residence fee and a biometrics fee. So if you go through the links, you can see that your processing fees is of $550 and the right for permanent residence fee is $490. If you include your spouse, that's another $1,040, and for every dependent child you need to pay another $150. And for the biometrics, so once you pay the biometrics fee with your completed application, you will receive a letter confirming that you will need to give your biometrics and where you need to go. And you can get all these details in this link.
You have submitted your documents, paid the fees, and applied for PR. Next step, just wait to hear back from IRCC. You might hear back from them for additional documentation, or you might not hear back from them for months. The waiting time which IRCC mentions right now is around 6 months, but it can vary based on your application. It can be lower, it can be higher, but the average is around 6 months. You will be receiving an email from your country's embassy, a request to submit your passport so that they can issue visa in it. You need to be really cautious on when you receive the email, because there are cases when the email lands up in your spam folder. So you need to keep checking whether you receive the email or not. So once you receive the email, submit your passport, get the visa, get the confirmation of permanent residence, and fly to Canada. That's it. See you again with another video. Until then, goodbye.